Today on Jurgen's Journeys, we're going to the Horne Creek Farm, which is part of the Pilot Mountains State Park and is only about 15 minutes away from the campground. As we drive over to the Horne Creek Farm, we'll also stop and look at a private collection of antiques and a beautiful old barn. Besides the wonderful structures and preserved wagons and things at the Horne Creek Farm, we'll also enjoy a special event which is put on once a year called the Rust and Dust Show, which is a tractor show, and it's going to be lots of fun to see. So come along on Jurgen's Journeys.
Well, that looks like it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Let's check this thing out. Everybody's doing hay. I had to stop here. When you get into these back roads in North Carolina, you're liable to find all kinds of neat stuff. I mean, signs, old signs. How about that? How about that washing machine there? No hippies, but he's got him a hippie van down there. What model is that?
It's a 73.
We've got to keep your eyes open when you go down the road. You never know what kind of neat little old places you see just on the side of the road. I mean, like this old barn with those antiques sitting out front. And folks are friendly. I mean, I stop and talk to the guy. So they want you to start your little tour inside. Let's go check them out.
Hello.
Hi.
What brings you out this way?
Well, I saw the sign for Saturday,
Right.
and so I wanted to kind of check you out before I come out here. What was that? Who funds this Horne Creek Park?
Horne Creek Farm is a state historic site. We're operated by the state of North Carolina, the Division of Natural and Cultural Resources, North Carolina's Division of Historic Sites and Properties. So technically it's the state taxpayers or the state budget funds our operation. We are a site that focuses on the agriculture history of Piedmont, North Carolina. The site originally was acquired and added to Pilot Mountain State Park in 1970. And our little 113 acres was split off in '87 to be a state historic site.
So tobacco was the main crop in this area for many years, up until, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. Horne Creek Farm is no exception. They had their tobacco fields back in the day, but apples is also a big part of Horne Creek's economy. And these days, they emphasize the apple part of this operation. They have over 400 apple trees and many rare varieties. I never was a tobacco user or farmer, but this is how they cured their tobacco. They'd hang them up on sticks, and they'd put them in these heated mud and wood barns, and they would dry and cure that tobacco. It took a lot of work. Anybody that grew up around here can tell you about the work. It took a lot of wood. You had to keep those fires going. You want that tobacco cured. So the Rust and Dust show isn't until Saturday, but man, it's so nice and quiet out here this morning. This is another Wednesday morning. I like to do Wednesday mornings in places like this because nobody else does. So this old shed has some old equipment in it. I don't really know what that is or what it's for. Maybe you do. Leave me a comment if you do. But I do know what this is. That right there, that is a corn crib. Yep, I've seen many corn crib. Yeah, boy, we got your maters and your corn. I even heard some chickens a while ago. That's the way you gotta say this stuff. So where else are you gonna find old wagons and stuff like this? I mean, I know out west they got all kind of old stuff because it never rains and doesn't deteriorate. But this is kind of unusual for these parts. I mean, this is a well-preserved old farm wagon. Now you know why I'm out here recording this old barn. I'm in the shade. Stockyard. So there's that pretty old barn. Now, in front of the barn is that beautiful garden, and beyond the garden is the old farmhouse. We say we go check that out. Well, the front porch is probably the best part of the whole house. Sit here, sip your lemonade, watch your garden grow, sit in your bench, and it is raining, you gotta go to the barn, there's your umbrella. I don't know, that thing's seen better days for sure. Oh well, let's go inside. It's about 10 degrees cooler in here. Oh, the sitting room. Look at that, with an old reed organ. I don't think that's quite right. I think we ought to run upstairs, don't you? Need that at night. Don't forget to take your hat off. course, all the main rooms have fireplaces. They got a lot of bedrooms in this house. They had big families back in the day. Somebody had to work them crops, pick those apples, harvest that tobacco. There's the barn. Keep an eye on things from up here. Let's check out these bedrooms in here. Of course, we've got to have a fireplace, and that looks like a little pot. Of course, you know, back in the day, there was no particle board. Everything was made of solid wood, natural fibers, cotton and wool and such. I could spend all day going through this old house and checking out all the old sheds and barns, but a main reason I came down here was so that I could kind of check it out and see what's happening at the Rust and Dust show on Saturday. So I'm gonna come back for that, and we'll take a look at some tractors right now. Hello. Hey. Now who's this one?
This is Sadie.
Hey Sadie.
I'm a blue chip coonhound and I live here at the farm.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I'm starting this is finishing up 3 weeks for me. We're starting here. And that's what the Hoosiers had, blue chip coonhound. Gypsy's hiding out somewhere, but she's older and in the shade.
Yeah, I saw her the other day.
Yeah.
Got a tractor here. Is that yours? What year is that?
I think I've got a good on it. Somewhere
Nice talking to you. Well, I'll tell you, there's a pretty good crowd down here at the Dust and Rust show. My old tractors are pretty, and a lot of folks came out to see them and just, you know, look around Horne Creek Farm. It's a beautiful place. And hey, today they're having hot dogs and all kinds of goodies. But man, I'm getting hot. It's 90 degrees, but it feels like 100 because of the humidity. Well, that's the way it is here in North Carolina some days. We get a lot of pretty weather. Some days are pretty hot. But I'm glad you could join me. And we're going to maybe come back here again soon and check out a few other things, because there's a lot more to see at Horne Creek. And if you're ever camping at Pilot Mountain, don't leave without coming down here to Horne Creek Farm. This is what North Carolina used to look like about everywhere you go in these parts. The back of fields, the back of barns, as far as you could see.